This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the Gulf of Mexico as their backdrop, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Resort on Fort Myers Beach, here are the hosts of the dinkiest podcast in America, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. It is so nice to be back home here on the terrace outside, licensed to chill. And it is a lovely day here on Fort Myers Beach. The weather is perfect, and we're back out on the fake grass that's soon to be all over the beach in the park across the street here.
No, they're going to put the kibosh on that.
And we have a great show lined up today and so much stuff going on. Last weekend was crazy with the pool party and then Revive the Vibe and then the mayor show. And this weekend, no beer this weekend. That's my my goal. No beer. We had no beer yesterday, no beer today. I actually brought my bike and attached it to the back of my truck, so there was no way I could drink any beer. I have to ride the bike home.
And I brought my stuff to work out, so there's no way you can't not ride your bike,
or
you're going to have to wait a while.
And then tomorrow I want to be able to get up at like 4 o'clock and ride the road bike down here.
I'm switching. I got up this morning, not on purpose, at 3:30. I woke up. So now I'm going to keep doing that because I have to start acclimating myself.
First of all, you didn't get up at 3:30. I got up at 3:30. Well, you got up at 5.
That's when I got up, but I was awake at 3:30.
Sure.
I'm telling you.
So what time is it in Africa right now?
Well, it's 7 hours ahead of us.
So why are you trying to get up earlier? You should be sleeping 7 hours more.
No, I need to get up and get on there.
So tell us, she's been practicing her African language. Is that how you say it? What is some?
Tell us. Called Swahili.
Swahili. So talk some Swahili to the crowd.
Gina Lango ni Kim Ryan, Nina Faraha, Kukutana na Wewe.
And she just cursed at all of us. She just said bad words at all of us.
I said, my name is Kim Ryan. Nice to meet you.
So how much have you learned? Like, is everyone going to?
Not a lot. I've learned Asante, which is thank you. Kamwe, which is you're welcome, maybe.
So how are you gonna?
And Una. Oh wait. Unangere Kingereza, which means
she's walking around the house talking Swahili. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I have no idea what you say. You know, she's doing the tongue click too. Whatever that is. Is that why do you have to do that?
I'm not doing that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I have the webcam up to look at the places that we're going.
They have webcams in Swahili. Where are you going again? Kenya, but
Kenya. No. In Tanzania, where the safari is. So I've been so focused on the mission part of the trip, I didn't even consider that. So now I gotta get some.
So tell everybody what's going on here.
So
Debbie Hodka dropped off some stuff.
Debbie Hodka dropped some stuff off. So nice of her. And there's backpacks, but they're like super heavy.
Is that a Cabbage Patch Kid?
There's a little doll in here, but there's like all sorts of stuff. Jump ropes. I don't
want
to.
So the kids in Kenya don't have this kind of stuff, so that's why you're bringing it.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of toys. They don't. I went online and looked at Google Earth and kind of looked at some pictures from there just so that I could.
Yeah.
It's.
When do you leave?
On your birthday. So that's my present to you.
Party! Everybody having a party at our house. I don't have to worry about her saying it's not clean enough. Just come over. We don't care. Get in the pool.
And I won't care.
So that's October 10th for anybody keeping track at home that wants to mail me a puppy.
That's a Thursday.
Chocolate lab,
Thursday.
Please. Only females. So no, the other thing that we have going on next Sunday, we have a Packer party at the Nervous Nellies. There's a 1 o'clock game. The Packers are playing the Minnesota Vikings, who are now
that's going to be
2-1 or
that's going to be
2-0. That's right. They beat the lowly Giants and the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, how's your team doing?
They suck. I was just saying, I just hope they suck worse than the Carolina Panthers so that they get the number 1 pick in the draft. I mean, they
need it.
They're like a minor league team right
pick,
now.
They need number 2 pick.
Yeah. And they need a new quarterback. So next Sunday at 1 o'clock, the Vikings and the Packers, we have like 20 seats left. They seat 150. And so we're going to raise some money for the women's club again. And anybody can come and watch the game as long as you make a reservation, because we don't want the fire chief to come down and shut us down. So, and the other thing you probably have all heard is that Mike Yost passed away. Everybody knew Mike on the island. He passed away this past week from heart condition, and they are having a celebration of life for Mike tomorrow at Diamond Head at 5 o'clock. And you can come and meet his mom. You can come and meet his girlfriend. And there's also a GoFundMe that you can help with some of the expenses for the services that we posted on our Facebook page. So tomorrow at 5.
Always a happy, smiling.
Yep. Good guy.
Always
happy. Wore goofy hats and he did some magic tricks and things like that.
And he did the tours at night.
The haunted pub crawls. And so after the gathering at the Diamond Head, they're doing a pub crawl tomorrow. So you could stop on down to the Diamond Head at 5 o'clock tomorrow. It was,
you're looking at all the pictures that were posted online, because he and Mitch.
Yes, him and Mitch, the late Mitch. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
From Ian. But
Hurricane Ian, 2 years in 1 week, everybody. Can you believe it? 2 years in 1 week. And we're doing our special luncheon at the Nervous Nellies.
No.
At the Pink Shell next Saturday at 12:30. And I know we were just talking about, I want people to bring pictures, because we're going to put pictures on a big board, but who prints pictures out anymore? So that's going to be a challenge for people to print a picture out. I guess you would have to go to CVS or something, right?
CVS, Walgreens, they all.
Just print a nice picture out. We're going to get a big board of, it could be whatever you want. It could be something from the past or something from the future. So bring a picture if you can, and that's at 12:30. There is going to be no muckety muck speaking at the luncheon next Saturday. It's just going to be all of us hanging out, having a free lunch. I promise you, no speakers at all. Kevin Guthrie will not be there, even though we love Kevin.
Him a hard
He's still speaking in Bayside Park right now from last year.
2 years ago. Oh no, last year. That's right.
And that's 12:30.
Man, that was, I swear to God, that was the
super
hottest
hot
day.
Yeah. It's so nice out today. I mean, you'd think 2 years ago on September 28th, it was so hot in that spot there. So, all right, enough about us, dear. Let's get to our first guest.
All right, let me move
Talking
this
about
out of the way.
rebuild, everybody. Can we get a big hand for Matt from the Beach Bar? Yes. Come on down, Matt. How are you, man?
Hey.
Grab that. Oh, sorry. Oh, I shook your hand like a girl. Sorry about that. I don't mean to do that.
awkward.
Good backward handshake.
Oh, that was awkward.
My bad. So,
Sorry, you want to try again?
yeah, let's do it.
Nice. That was a good one. I felt that was good.
Matt, how are you, man? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How long you've been working at the Beach Bar?
So I started the Beach Bar August of 2019, and throughout the COVID pandemic, got with Greg, the owner, and became the manager throughout that process. So I've been managing since 2020 now.
Nice.
And one of the things
Now,
that
how long, can you just slow down a little bit?
so when there's a little pregnated pause, I want to jump in there. I give you a second to see if you want to ask a question, and then when you don't right away, I want to make sure that Matt's not bored.
The only way I can do it is if I do that. So
I can't
tell us a little bit about how long the Beach Bar has been here, and do you have a sense of the history?
I do, actually. I mean, since I got to this island in 2019, I fell in love with the place, as most of us did, fell in love with the people, as most of us have, and that's why I love this place, this community. So the building was built back in the 60s.
Wow.
From my understanding. It was a jet ski rental and bait shop back in the day. And then throughout the years, it's morphed into multiple different businesses. And we have the rental units upstairs, which we are building back as well. And then now it's the bar downstairs.
When you first came back to the beach after Hurricane Ian and saw what was there, did you first think that, okay, you put up a few sandbags thinking that would be okay? How did you prepare for the storm?
Anthony and myself spent the better part of a day sandbagging, and then the second story was gone. So
yeah,
right.
it was kind of, as we all experienced.
Yeah, I remember who was it from the cottage? I forget his name, the manager of the cottage, when he first went down there and put the flag in the ground there. When you first returned to the Beach Bar and you see what you see, you had to be like dumbfounded.
Oh yeah, I mean, so I have a long history with this island too. That I met my girlfriend right next door. She worked at the Hooters. That was our little corridor from Mojo's over there. You know, we were great friends with the people at Fresh Connection, the little coffee shop there as well, the smoke shop, the Sea Gypsy. That little block was something special.
Yeah. So, and Hooters was floating down the street or something. I remember seeing the building floating down the street. Do you know
our whole two blocks were gone?
Wow.
Do you know anything about the Hooters? Are they rebuilding it? Or
I don't know.
I haven't heard anything about. That's one place
I know
I
the
haven't
Beach
heard.
Bar's rebuilding it.
Yes, that's for
we
sure.
are. Yeah, we are.
So
You were
and they
pretty
started.
soon. You got something up and running down there on the beach, right?
97 days after that storm,
Yeah.
we had a trailer and porta potties. We cleaned up our site. We cleaned up 6 other properties on the island,
Mhm.
Anthony and Greg and myself, and we got our business up and running 97 days.
One of the things that
Wow.
I think is unique about. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought I heard Greg
Oh, I
say.
hope he's wrong so you can correct him.
I thought I heard Greg say you can't have people inside; they have to be outside. What's the rule with that?
Our tables are all outside.
So
Yep, our
you're
tables are all
allowed to
outside.
keep them on the beach now. I mean, so how did you do you know how you're allowed to do that? Because now with FEMA, the devil FEMA is just telling everybody they can't do anything.
Well, I mean, as many things on this island, some things are grandfathered in, so we're one of those cases,
Mhm.
and every property line along the beach is a little different, as we all know, with the coastal flooding line. and
Yeah.
everything.
Are you from New York?
Originally,
Yeah, where from?
Long Island.
Yeah. Okay, I could see in
Little
your
bit of-
accent.
Let's go
yeah.
Mets.
You can
Yeah.
see in the accent.
Let's go
or
Mets.
hear it?
Yeah, they got killed last night by the Phillies.
Yeah, we're going to get
Yeah.
that wild card, though.
Yeah. So, what part of Long Island?
Suffolk County,
Where in Suffolk County?
Port Jefferson.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
hey,
we're
you were
like
close to that.
neighbors. Yeah, we're from Selden and Deer Park and
Awesome.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
But enough
small world
about
of-
us. Yeah.
But that's why, again, this place is so special. We
Yeah.
can be from the same area, not know it, come here,
Right.
find this island, and all love it, fall in love with it.
Did you? Are you?
Did
I
you get
forgot what I was
married?
going to say now. Yeah. Are you married? No, he said girlfriend. He said
Well,
girlfriend.
that's right. He met his girlfriend.
Do you live
there,
on the
but-
island?
I did before the storm. Unfortunately, I live up in
Oh.
Iona now. So
Okay.
I did lose my
They got-
home and my business.
They got hammered over there too in Iona.
Yeah.
Yep.
So one of the unique things about the beach bar, or the second unique thing, is the music. Like you focus on blues, and that's what Greg was telling the town council that you plan on keeping it that way.
Absolutely. We have a great network of musicians. We're lucky to have them. We get some of the best talent in the country when it comes to blues, funk, and jazz.
Does Greg have a thing for the town attorney? Did you watch the town council meeting? Or
I was actually present in the meeting. Ed. It was funny. Greg is the funniest guy you'll ever meet. He's the nicest guy you'll ever meet, and he's the best boss I could ask to work for.
well,
Wow.
inviting the town attorney to come and hang out at the place is probably a good idea. And seemed like she was all game for it.
We're all friends here,
Yeah,
right? We're
yeah.
all friends here.
He was definitely a character for sure at the meetings. But
Oh, yeah.
so
See him
the
dancing on Saturdays. Come on down later.
what's this thing about he's got a harmonica degree now or something? Or
He's practicing and he's
harmonica
taking a
degree?
class.
Yeah,
he's working.
see?
He's again part of the culture at the beach bar. Just
Yeah.
it's a vibe. It's a real thing.
For sure.
You got to come experience it.
Maybe you could go down there once you take your trumpet lessons.
I bought a trumpet. I played it once and it drove the dogs crazy. It's been in the closet ever since. The dogs don't like the trumpet. So
What a waste of
all right, dear. Can we
really,
talk about
there's
this
some
later?
dumb things that you've spent money on, but that is right up there.
Just
towards
because
the top.
she shops at the Goodwill, that makes her think
you
that she's
should
a
have got
better
a
shopper
trumpet
than
at
I
the
am.
Goodwill for the amount of
You
times
buy
you're going to
there's
use
like
it.
9 pair of shoes at our front door, 4 pair outside, and 5 pair inside. It's like, where did you get? How do you wear that many pair of shoes? Like
Well, because
there
I
should
have
be
to walk the dog. So.
in 9 different pair of shoes.
There's not 9. You're
Dear,
exaggerating.
come on. I'm going to take a picture of the shoes. You guys wait and see
There's
how
a
many
pair
shoes.
of 99-cent
Who else has that many?
flip-flops
Then
up
you go
there.
in the closet and you're tripping
Dear,
over shoes. There's
Dear,
shoes
do
everywhere.
not, because I know
What?
that there's many people that would put me to shame. I do not have
Is that right?
near the shoes that some people have.
You have 40 pair of shoes, Doreen? Oh, never mind then. You need more shoes, dear. So the
Or
new
just flip flops. We're in Florida. Just
No
get a bunch of
kidding. No
flip-flops.
kidding. Well, she's got
Who
those
needs shoes
too.
anymore?
Yeah. So
Sorry, we digress. How many pairs of shoes do you have?
he's got one. He's got a pair of
I got a pair
flip-flops.
of flip-flops. That's it.
Before I forget, don't let me forget to tell you guys the story about the female road rage I witnessed yesterday. If I don't say that now, I'm not going to remember to tell
You
that
didn't
story.
even tell me about
I
it.
know it was interesting to watch. I mean, I swear to God, I think women can get more violent than men sometimes when they're yelling at each other in the car. At least yesterday. So the new building looks pretty cool.
Started it.
Yeah.
It started something. You know,
Yeah.
we were able to clear the old slab and pull out the old pilings, and prep the site, and we're hoping to start driving our new pilings within the next week.
Nice. How long do you think it'll take? Have they kind of given you an idea?
So we think 8 to 10 months. We've been
Sweet.
getting a lot of feedback on that 18 months thing. We're not sure where that came from. So it's 8 to 10 months. There might have been a miscommunication with our engineer, but we're 8 to 10 months is our timeline with Stevens Construction, and they've been amazing to work with this whole time. They communicate very well with us, so that's all we can ask for.
And you
And
had
so for people that haven't seen the drawing, tell them what it's going to look like.
somebody's calling me.
Oh.
Don't these people
The
know I
op-
do
the
an
bar-
award-winning
we gotta
show at
open.
10 o'clock for crying
It's
out
got to
loud?
be.
And you're live.
Yeah. I should have just put them on
Answered
the
it.
show.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
how can I help
So
you?
it's going to
We're
be
doing a show
open
here.
downstairs, right?
So same concept as before. The vibe's not changing. We have the same concept as before. Open air, bar downstairs. The bar will be built out of concrete. Our bathrooms and our walk-in, all our product will be stored in trailers, easily hooked up to my Toyota Tacoma and pulled right out of here.
Look at that. I
Okay,
just happen to have a
glad you
picture
said
of it.
that.
Mhm.
I just happen to have a
that's
picture
the
of it.
rendering.
If you
Yeah,
guys
that's
are,
the exact rendering.
if
Yep,
you guys
that's-
are watching on Facebook,
that'll be
you can
from
see
the
the
street
picture.
view. That'll be from Estero Boulevard looking down.
So you got parking underneath.
I see it chose
Yep.
yellow as your accent
And I
color.
love it. I love it. They got so is this where the residence is going to be on the top and then the bar is going to be here?
Bar's ground level, residents will be on the top.
Oh,
floor.
these are all this is the
Yep.
whole residence. So really because you just have is this where the bar is and then the seats are outside? Is that how it's
tables
going to
are on
work?
the sand, correct?
Okay, so it's basically the same kind of thing. You had the bar inside, tables in the sand.
Exactly what we had before. Same concept. Yep.
And where's the band play? Outside?
We'll have a stage area.
Where are the bathrooms?
There'll be
Yeah.
a trailer under there. That's not in
Okay.
the rendering. Yep.
Let's see if
Yep,
we
but
can
we're-
see
we're
it.
getting
Here's
a
another
custom-built-
angle. This
Custom-built
is
trailer for that.
outside in the
That's
back.
from the beach looking up now. Yep.
Okay, so is this going to be pavement here or is it all
Sand. No,
sand?
that's the
Okay.
beach.
Wow,
Yep, that
that's
is the
really
beach.
nice sand you got there.
Yep.
Don't show that
Yep.
to Ron Fleming. He'll
CGI
think there's
sand.
shells
Sure
in
is
it.
something.
Are
Yeah.
you going to have more seating than you had before? Or the same? Or?
Same exactly what we had before. We're
Yeah.
just putting it back. That's all.
Very
That's
nice.
all.
I like that. You got the
Yeah.
views from the residences upstairs.
So something about the residences. Previously, we had 2 residents, a 1 bed, 1 bath, a 2 bed, 2 bath. We've committed to lowering the density on the island, so we're going to 1 residence of a 4 bed, 4 bath.
Yeah, stop setting a new trend on the island, lowering the density.
Well, we're doing our best to work with everybody, and
Yeah.
that was what was brought to us if we wanted to get this building process started. So
Yeah.
Is it going to
Gotta be
be
flexible.
like a full year residence or is it going to be
vacation rental.
vacation?
Oh, so you're not
Okay.
going to get to live there? Darn
No,
it.
I
That
got to
would
get
have
away
been
from
nice.
work a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the place, but you still got to break. You still have to have that break. You know,
Are you going to, how long have you been with your girlfriend now?
long enough.
Are you going to get married?
long enough to get engaged?
That's possible. We're here to talk about the beach bar. We're here to talk about the beach
Oh,
bar.
he doesn't want to. So, yeah, so we got,
You have a question?
what was the question?
So we're not going
Are
to be able
you
to hang them
bringing
on the
the
ceiling
mugs
because
back?
it'll
The
be
mugs.
19 feet up. But we're in the process of figuring something
explain.
else out.
Explain
Yeah.
what,
The
what
mugs.
explain what the mugs on the ceiling is. I don't know what.
In the old bar, we previously had the mug club. So you'd come in, you get your mug, people write their name or a quick little note or emblem on the bottom. You hang it up on one of the 1,000 hooks on our ceiling.
Oh.
And then anytime you came in, you get your mug, you wash it out in the sink, and we fill
I
it for
see.
you.
So,
Nice.
so the ceilings were low enough where you didn't need a ladder to
Yeah,
get
it
the
was
mugs.
standard
Cool.
8-foot ceilings. but
Man, I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was a very unique thing. And,
For
and
sure.
so after the storm, we had people bringing us mugs that they found all the way on Bunchy Beach.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Intact?
Wow.
Intact. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Jeez.
All the
What
way
did,
from
what did you do with all those things? That
We have a small bin of stuff that we're going to make a nice display when
nice.
the new building's
Very
in.
cool.
And our original sign we were able to find that was up by the road, kind of where the Sea Gypsy was at, in 6 different pieces. We pieced it back together. It's been hanging on a piece of plywood for the last 2
Nice.
years now.
Now
Very
there wasn't much parking there, and did you guys get the full variance that you don't need parking? Because I know the whole downtown area is kind of going through that. Do you have just the parking underneath?
Just
or?
the parking underneath, and then we're going to put, I believe it's 5. Don't quote me on the number, but we're going to put bike racks down the whole side of the
Nice.
property where we border the beach access. So then anybody coming to the beach,
Need
you'll
more
have,
bikes. Need more bike access. Hi,
Absolutely.
ladies.
It's like I said, it's a beautiful island. It's
Yeah.
very nice to
Right.
bike
I
around
think
here.
Greg said the majority of his business comes from people just walking off the beach.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Yep. That's why we're in a great spot. We have Margaritaville, Diamond Head. We're nestled right in the
Yeah.
middle. We love it.
yeah, thanks. So now it'll be interesting to see who gets built first, you or the whale. It's going to be
I
neck
gotta
and
say,
neck
it's,
there.
It's great driving on island every morning and seeing the progress there.
sure.
It really is awesome. It's
Yeah.
great.
All right. Anything else you want folks to know about the beach bar, or you, or your girlfriend, or what when the wedding might be, or
She's a great girl, and I love you, Chloe. But
you said
beach
you
bar,
love
beach
Yeah.
bar. So the 2-year anniversary, we are having Dottie Kelly come over from the East Coast of Florida. She's one of the best musicians, best entertainers we have. We're doing a dancing in the sand party. So
Nice.
come on and celebrate that we're all still doing this.
What time?
1 to 5.
1 to 5. And so now that you are clearing the lot, how are you? I mean, how are you going to try and stay open with the tent or something, or are you going to just
we
try
have
and
a temporary setup with some sun shaders out on the stand.
right?
Nice.
So you have enough room where you could do both, build it, and will you stay open during construction, or you think there's going to come a time where you just gotta like they did?
So we're Saturday and Sunday only right now. It's a
Okay.
modified schedule, and we're hoping to work with Stevens, who's been great so far.
Yeah.
And we'll get a more concrete schedule down.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anything else, boss?
That's great. Thank you guys for having me.
No, thank you,
You're
Matt.
wel-
Thanks a
and
lot.
for the
Matt.
shirts.
And do you guys have another cleanup coming up? I know you're big on doing the beach cleanups. You have
Yeah. When we do our groundbreaking ceremony, which we're not set on the date yet, but
Okay.
we're gonna do something that day.
okay,
Yep.
sweet. So
So
you'll
I'll
let us
definitely
know
let you
about
guys know.
yeah, so we can come down there and do some video.
Absolutely.
And thank you for the tank tops and t-shirts. If anybody can wants to buy one, do you have them available
Plenty.
online or at the shop down
Both
there?
online and down at the site.
Is it
Come down and see us.
beachbar.com or is it something else? Because that
FMB
seems
the Beach Bar.
FMB the
Beach Bar.
beachbar.com.
Yep.
All right, I know you guys clapped before, but feel free to do it again for Matt.
Thank you
Thank you
so
guys so
much.
much.
Thank you
Thank you.
to Matt from the Beach Bar. Thank you very much. So I'm going to read an ad, then I'm going to
Okay.
tell you about the female road rage that I was like. All right, yeah, we do need to get new chairs. I'm afraid we're going to fall now. Not last time when she fell and there was nothing wrong with the chair. So we get these chairs at Walmart. I got them at Walmart for like $7. And so we had 6 of them. And they started to break, so I threw 3 of them out, and I went to Walmart to get another 1 or 2, and they don't sell them anymore. So we need maybe instead of a dog for my birthday, somebody will buy a stool for $7. So this morning, I just want you all to know that Island Pancake House is open. Yes, you feel free to clap for the Island Pancake House. Yep. I was over there this morning, not eating, just saying hi to Brian and Stacy, and I ran into Chester. Chester was over there having breakfast, and he's all set up again. Everybody that donated to replace his materials, he's all set up. He's got a nice big box now with extra locks on it. So he was over there at the Island Pancake House, which is in the Seagrape Plaza, and they have breakfast and lunch, and they have a full bar, a full liquor license. Not just a full bar, a full liquor license. And they're open from 7:30 to 2, and they'll stay open longer if you want them to. So if you want to sit there and drink until midnight, just tell Brian you're going to sit there and drink until midnight. And they are locally owned and operated, so please go down and support the local business, the Island Pancake House in the Seagrape Plaza. All right, before we get to our next guest, dear, come on back on. Oh, that was perfect timing. So yesterday in Gateway now, we have these, not just yesterday, but we have these 2 roundabouts now because we have like 9 schools in Gateway. And, for some reason, what the people in Gateway do is they drop their kids off in the morning and then they get right in the parent pickup line. They just sit in the car the whole day. It's like the cars are there in the middle of the road all day. No joke. From 12 o'clock on,
Yeah,
they're sitting in the pickup
There's
lines.
people on the Nextdoor app that were
How do you do that?
And the Facebook, the Gateway community, people, you can't stay there all day. It's taken us 4 hours to get to our house.
So
it must be bad over there.
If we had a child in school, I would just wait. I'm gonna make her wait until be the last person. I'm coming last. What's the big deal? Do some homework. I
because
mean,
if
why
you're-
would you sit in for 3 hours? They're sitting in their car. Not only
because
that,
they don't want to pay for after school.
but the cars they're running they're
I
using
know.
gas. They're polluting the environment. But anyway,
No,
so one of
they
the
line up early.
I get into the first roundabout and there's 2 lanes. So I'm on the inside lane and there's 8 cars in the right-hand lane. And there's one car. You're not supposed to stop at a roundabout. You're supposed to kind of stop and then merge if nobody's coming. Well, she stopped there, but she's not moving. And then the car behind her is beeping like crazy. So now she's like, I'm just going to sit here to F with the person behind me. So that's what they're doing. Now they're yelling out the window at each other. One, and they're flipping the bird off. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to slow. So I want to watch this now. You got to watch it when there's a train wreck like that. So I'm watching it. And then she finally goes and I'm thinking, okay, I better be careful because this one in the back is pissed. She might try and get in my lane. Sure as shit. As soon as I moved up, she almost hit me in the right-hand lane and she took off. And then the first lady's looking at me I'm like, hey, you were wrong. I don't know why you stopped there. But I mean, you think that you're going to see these angry old men or young men or whatever yelling at each other, but you roll up and there's 2 young women that are fighting with each other at a roundabout.
Listen, it happens.
Has it happened to you? Have you ever been in some road rage?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, but
Do
it wasn't.
Do tell.
So one time I was coming down Colonial and we were all backed up. It was stopped traffic and I was heading to our house. So I was heading east and I must have got too close to the person in front of me. It was a guy. He had a big old truck and he starts backing up his truck. And I'm like,
On Colonial.
we're locked. We're locked. I can't.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
So then I'm beeping, and I'm yelling, you're going to hit me. He gets as close as he can. And then he gets out of the car. And I'm like, all
now
right,
what do you do?
here we go.
You got scared, didn't you?
No, I didn't get scared. There's nowhere I could go. So we had to exchange
Did he have a gun?
words.
Did he have a gun?
I mean, he didn't. But
that's why you should never get in road rage anymore.
No.
People will just shoot you.
No. Then the other time was on Colonial. These
All right,
two
one's
guys
enough.
got into it. Wait a minute. And I was watching, and the one guy got out and they started arguing. And then no kidding. I mean, I had to blink twice. The one guy got out of the car and the guy just threw a haymaker and knocked him right down. I was like,
I think
I
those.
didn't have my phone ready.
I know, right? I think this is some of like the most viewed videos, with the road rage things or the police chases. I can't stop watching the police chases.
Oh, please. You're watching puppy videos too. It's weird.
The
It's
bulldog
weird.
videos. Bulldog, not puppy videos. You make me sound like a little sissy. They're bulldogs. Before we get to our next guest, I think I said that once. I want everybody to know that St. Raphael's Episcopal Church.
Oh, nice. You're going to go from road rage to church.
which is on Williams Drive, is having a blessing of the animals on October the 5th. I've never been to a blessing of the animals service. I wonder what they do. Does anybody know? Do they throw water on them and bless them or somehow? It's a blessing of the animals. All are welcome. Saturday, October 5th at St. Raphael's on Williams Drive. We love that church. And it's at 10 o'clock. So bring your, I guess.
You should bring Cookie down because she
definitely needs
needs
to
a
be blessed.
blessing. She is on her last.
All right,
sorry,
everybody.
leg.
Coming up in November, besides
It's-
the big election that it just drives me crazy to see anything about the presidential election, which we don't talk about or post about. We have a big local election.
Yeah, because it's always me posting and talking about it.
No, it's just a train wreck. The whole thing's a train wreck. The LPA it's not really an election, but the LPA has 3 open seats and now 5 members are running. And as you know, the LPA is going to make some really big decisions about some really big buildings over the next few months. And we have a candidate running for office that's coming on, and he's just turned his 21st birthday. So come on down, Jeremy. Big hand for Jeremy. Is running for, he's not really running. He put his application in. The town council will appoint Tyler.
Tyler.
What the hell did I get Jeremy from?
You should
Getting
have
old.
waited and totally shamed him
I don't know
when you
where I
had
got
the
that
mic
from.
on.
Is anybody here
You-
named Jeremy?
You do that. You do that every once in
I
a
don't know.
while.
I didn't write
You
it down.
do.
I-
You messed
Did
up.
I get
the
it right
other
in the
thing?
news story yesterday? Okay,
One
good.
of them.
So it's Tyler.
Did I-
What's your middle name?
Jarrett. Close.
Maybe
That's
that's,
what it was.
it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
I'm
Now,
surprised I
you're
remembered
21?
Matt's name.
34.
34.
Four.
Over that. Yes.
Yeah. So you've lived on the island for a while, right?
Yes. Pretty much my whole life. I was
Dude,
growing
watch your
up
drink.
here
It's
and
gonna fall.
raised here on the island. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about your history with Fort Myers Beach.
So growing up here, it gave me appreciation for the island. I think it's hard to do unless you do grow up here. My first job was at Subway and Chiastero shops. After that, I worked at the cottage.
Wait,
Charlie's-
Subway Chiastero shops.
Yes, that's where it used to be
Okay.
back about 20 years ago.
Chiastero is the illegal parking lot now.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
We're-
Yeah,
okay.
it used to be the
Just couldn't
only
let it
Subway
go.
on the beach. So
Just covering the news.
after that, I worked at the cottage and Charlie's Boathouse Grill, and as well as other restaurants.
Wait, you're
on the
going too
beach.
fast, man. I remember the college, but what Charlie's Boathouse? Where was that?
Yeah,
That
that's
was
where,
at the end of Curlew Street, across from the
That's
Outrigger.
where all the big hullabaloo is going on with the London Bay thing.
Oh,
That was
okay,
the-
gotcha. All right. Well, I was thinking
Wow.
of down here somewhere.
Maybe you do need
You know,
to have
when
a
he said
drink.
Charlie's-
You're a mess.
It was one of the oldest restaurants on the beach, open
Yeah.
since 1974. So
What did you do there?
I was a server.
Okay.
So it was a very important place to a lot
Yes.
of the people that grew up here and have lived here for a long time.
And then after that, you did what?
I left briefly to go to medical school, and then I've been back a practicing physician for about 5 years.
You look like you just woke up. Were you out late last night?
No,
or, I
no,
mean,
I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold. I think.
I see.
so
Your
it's
hair is
right.
all mussed up too. You didn't even brush your
So-
hair for the show.
well,
Usually,
well-
if somebody's got mousse in their hair when they're on the show. What's
Well,
up with that?
you know,
man?
when you don't have to wear a hat, it's a little nice
Right.
and just let
I
it flow.
see. I see.
So you kind of breezed over that. So you just kind of went to medical school for a couple of years, and now you're a practicing. What do you what?
I practice family medicine. I have a practice
They
in Bonita
really
Springs.
Well, that's
Oh, you are a doctor.
Yes.
Oh, I see. I didn't
you
know
missed it.
that. All right. So
that's
what kind of
a-
medicine do you practice?
He
Family
just,
medicine.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
Do
I
you
heard
do
it that time.
neurology? Can you do a Alzheimer's test on
He's
him?
gonna need a
He
specialist.
needs
He's gonna need a
something
specialist.
here. Did you
Oh.
not take your ginkgo biloba?
You know, I saw the
Good
Seinfeld. Did
Lord.
you guys remember the Seinfeld, the proctology one with the ass man one?
Oh,
that
this is
came
just
up
what
on
you
my
wanna
phone the
be
other
part
day
of.
when George's dad fell on the what did he fell on the rigatoni thing, and he had to go to the proctologist. I don't know why I was thinking about a proctologist, but I just came up on my phone. That was a funny episode. Did you remember Seinfeld, or are
I
you too
do.
young for
No,
that?
I still watch the reruns now.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I graduated from Cypress Lake High School and then went
Uh-huh.
on to South Florida and then Nova Southeastern Fort Lauderdale and then Florida State as well.
Now, did you say
Nice.
you were married, or
I am married.
are you going
yes.
to talk Matt into getting married, or I know you guys know each
I'll
other?
have to speak to him after. Yeah.
All right, so
Do you have kids?
No, I do not.
Okay.
enough about
Working on it.
Oh, you are. How many would you like to have?
Yeah, that's an argument.
Oh, well, how many do you want to have?
3 to 5.
And she
We'll see.
wants one.
No.
She wants more than 3 to
Yes,
5.
yes.
Wow, how many would she
Wow.
like?
She would probably take as many as she could get.
Right. So
Wow.
well, you better get at it then. If she's
Good
going to
thing
have
you're
more
a
than 3 to
physician then.
5.
They're
Wow.
not cheap.
Yeah. The world needs more babies. That's what I think. More kids running around. No joke. I mean, I
Yeah.
think there should be more babies running around.
Bef-
And bulldogs.
So
So,
would you're in a practice in Bonita. Is it your practice or
It
you're
is.
in
It's
with
my own practice.
it's your own
Wow.
practice? So
do you have a
if the
Rolex?
beach got
No.
when the beach gets all back, you could maybe do a satellite thing
Yes,
here.
definitely.
Yeah, but they
Definitely
need a
something
doctor.
we've
They
thought about.
need, yeah.
Talk to Adderholt. He's looking for all kinds of things like that. So,
Do you ever get calls like from your neighbors for like consultations?
From time to time. From time to time, yes.
Dear, I just want to say our daughter is criticizing everything I do right now.
Well,
She's
she
come a long
is.
way from never wanting
Yeah,
to see the show. Now
she
she's
knows the
criticizing
drill.
everything I do.
She's embarrassed
So
right
one
now.
is enough sometimes. Let me tell you. No, so Jeremy, you're
Tyler.
I know, joking now. You want to be on the LPA.
What prompted that?
So wanting to get on the LPA, once all this stuff started happening after Hurricane Ian and you kind of started seeing all the changes that was going to happen, I started looking into what the LPA was. And if you actually read the code of Fort Myers Beach and you see what the LPA is there for, it's to further the welfare of the citizens in the town and to promote a better, convenient, efficient, safe, and attractive community for the town. And I think this part's really important to ensure that the unique and natural characteristics of the island are upheld.
Did you
So-
study that and memorize it? Is that word for word? Because I'm
That
going to
is
go
word for word. definitely.
Wow.
Well, he's had a lot of practice memorizing stuff. They have to do that in doctoring school.
Well, why do you
for
have to have such
Well-
an attitude toward
Yeah, well, and I think it's important because I think we've gotten away. We're arguing over height and density, and I think there's a lot more that goes into development than that. You look at those words, and it's efficient, convenient, and that means traffic and infrastructure and water and storm drains. I think it's more than just how high is the building going to be, and I think it's how it affects the community in numerous ways.
But there is a
I
big
think the other thing that's important in what you said is the unique quality
the
of
unique
the beach.
and natural characteristics of
Mhm.
the island. I mean, that's the quote mission statement of the LPA.
Okay, so you've read the code and you've memorized it, and so what does that really mean? Other
So
than
I think that the thing that kind of pushed me to submitting my application was when there was talks about changing the comprehensive plan. So going back to the codes, if you look, the comprehensive plan is the guide to all development within the town. That's what the comprehensive plan is. So once I saw that there was talks about changing the comprehensive plan, you know, right now outside of Seagate and London Bay, they'll hold Lahaina Inn properties for sale, which is 2 acres. That's next to the Sandpiper property, which is another 2 acres. Wyndham, that's 4 acres. There's 3 or 4 acres within Times Square. So that's just on the Gulf side, about 10 to 12 acres of undeveloped land that hasn't been purchased.
Mhm.
So that's, I think, that setting a precedent with the
so you're
comprehensive plan.
you say that, but is your concern that developers will buy that and
Massive.
build bigger buildings?
I think they will if we set the precedent that they can.
What are you worried about change wise in the comprehensive plan?
Building height, mostly.
Yeah. So how do you interpret that a change in the comprehensive plan that you've seen discussed is going to allow more height?
Because height is directly related to the comprehensive plan.
Right. But what change do you see them talking about that leads you to believe they're going to allow more height?
I didn't necessarily say they were talking about that. I'm just saying the comprehensive plan is going to change, and I'd like to be involved in those conversations.
Yeah, because you don't want it to change.
I think it can change, but I think that change is a spectrum. If it's going to change, I don't think it needs to change by a ton. You know, the comprehensive plan was written quite a while ago. I do think it could change, but I think that some of the things that people are asking for are a little bit too much.
So how high is high enough for you?
I think that that's a difficult question to answer.
It is. That's why I asked it. But go ahead right out and
well,
because that's really all people are talking about.
Right. But I think that, again, you know, if we're going to talk about changing the comprehensive plan, due diligence needs to be done to understand what maybe changing one floor.
So Tyler,
do,
so 17 too high or 17 okay?
Way too high.
10 is 10 too high or is 10 okay?
I still think 10 would be too high.
8.
Again, I think that due diligence has to be done.
So
to
you're
see,
closer to 8 than you are to 17.
Yeah,
Is
most
4 the
definitely.
limit?
You know, I think 4 is a good place to start.
Yeah.
But I think again, seeing the impact
Somewhere
of,
between 4 and 8.
You know, seeing the impact of what those changes will have. You know, you could look, okay, there's this much property. If you change it by 3 stories, how many more units is that going to allow? And how's that going to impact infrastructure? I think that Margaritaville has set a precedent that you could have a 3-4 story building and still create a really nice resort that's attractive and people will want to come to.
But
And
you guys better applaud for me just once today
Oh,
before
my
this show
Lord.
is over. Otherwise, my feelings are going to be hurt.
And, you know, getting back to development, I think that we've all seen over the last 2 years, a lot of stuff has happened. And if you look at the places that have come back, Snug Harbor, Wahoo Willie's, they're all locally owned and ran businesses.
Mhm.
I think that the people that wanted to come back quick are people that are involved in the community. And we saw with Margaritaville just how long it took to get this place built because of lawsuits and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen when these people want to build these 17 stories? We're going
So-
to have it built after the pier.
Are you
Can I
gonna
just ask a question?
It's your show.
All right.
Every
I
show
have
she's
to
got to
get
say,
in
"Can I
there.
ask a
gotta
question?"
Get in there. It looks like I'm interrupting, and I don't want somebody to complain. What is your opinion on when developers are offering public benefit? We hear a lot about that. What is your take on that?
I think public benefit can be used as a tool to garner support when truly that the underlying
Okay, what is
Public
public
benefit.
benefit is the
Yeah.
question. To you, what's public benefit?
public benefit to me is creating something that's going to attract tourism so that people that depend on that can have good livelihoods.
So be specific.
Having spaces that allow people who maybe aren't just staying at the resort to be able to enjoy the amenities, such as the old tiki bar at the Outrigger, such as I think Diamond Head with cabanas has set a really good precedent. And
So you think a restaurant is public benefit?
Yes,
Okay. What about parks?
absolutely.
Beach accesses?
Yes.
Okay.
But, you know, like, I think that, again, it has to be taken into consideration that sometimes people might use the public benefit and to try to get something they want when really it might not
So,
be worth
okay,
it.
So could there be enough public benefit to get you to go above 10?
No.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just going to play go ahead.
Well, and I was going to say, I think that you were talking about special exemptions. You know, a lot of people, especially in the condos, have said, well, you know, like Estero Beach Club, and they had however many units before. And I think that special exemptions can be taken into place when you had this amount of units. And I think they should get that amount of units back. But codes change, setbacks change. So those are where those special exemptions should be taking place,
So
not
you're
just for every single
So you're
development.
okay with E EIBC and the way they presented it. If you were on the LPA, would you vote for E EIBC right now? Estero Island Beach Club, for those that don't know.
I haven't really seen all of it, so I can't answer that.
Okay. But you are, okay, so Seagate.
No.
That's a no, hard no. Not even want to think. They're off in a park on the other side. They're not going to build on
He
the other
said
side.
there's not enough public benefit.
Well, I
go.
didn't necessarily say that. I just think that if you go back to that, preserving the unique and natural characteristics
Well,
of the island
to
as
get
well.
17 stories, I
Right.
think
And
you
I
can-
think
but
that
you
that's
could-
just too much.
You could never go back to an RV park,
I agree, but you don't have to go to 17 stories
but
either.
you also understand they're under their density there. So what they could do, if you're a hard no, is they could also say, okay, you won't let us have the 16 stories or whatever it is, we can do a resort with a multiplier right now with a multiplier of 2.5 and get 400 some odd hotel rooms. Would you be okay with that?
I think that, I mean, I don't know the density. I have to look at it all.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I've only seen what they presented thus far, and I don't agree with that.
Okay. Outrigger?
No, absolutely not.
So far, what about Moss Marina?
Parts of it, yes.
Well, they can't build parts of it.
Well,
I mean,
they-
you know,
and they don't
I
have
think that you can't really take
but theirs isn't up there yet.
yeah.
I mean, they
well,
haven't.
they're not,
the arches and all
yeah,
that.
the
I've
arches.
seen
Yeah,
it,
yeah. So you would. Why are you kind of leaning toward a yes to that one, or
What
not a
about
no?
that?
Mostly
is-
with height.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big part of it.
What about the infrastructure on that side of the island and the traffic on that side of the island to something you'd think that'd be okay?
Well, I think that that's something we'd have to look into, and that's
Yeah.
why I brought that up. I
Mhm.
think that, you know, the town itself needs to do its due diligence to see how it will impact that. I don't think you can just approve it without seeing how it's
Yeah.
going to affect it.
In the pecking order of importance on the beach, who are more important, the residents or the tourists?
Residents. But I
Explain.
think that they're directly impacted by the tourist. A lot of the residents depend on the tourist for their income. So I think that, you know, for me, being a full-time resident, that the residents are more important, but I don't think that those things are mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people, vacation rental owners, hospitality workers, people that own business on the beach are directly impacted by the tourists. So I think that you can benefit both, you know, significantly. And also, I think it's important to attract developers who are going to build things that are going to bring people here year round. It's difficult to make a living here in the hospitality industry right now. So having, you know, a bunch of condos where sit empty for 6 to 8 months a year isn't going to benefit us in September.
Yeah.
What do you think would? Well, like what do you think could come that would be a benefit?
I would push resorts over condos and hotels and things like that, and things that would attract certain.
Wait, say that again. You would do what?
I would push for developers to think about more resorts like a Margaritaville style more than condos because they tend to sit empty throughout the year. And I think that if you have entertainment things like resorts, Margaritaville, we've seen in the past,
Water
Roar Offshore, Singer-Songwriters Festival, it brings these things throughout the summer to kind of give us an economic boom.
So just to play devil's advocate or hear your argument about resorts compared to condos, Seagate has said they will not be vacation rentals. They have to be full-time residents of that building.
Right. So full-time residents, and you can't rent them out.
Right.
I would probably see those sitting empty for most of the year.
But wouldn't that be okay as far as the density and the traffic goes?
No, because the only time that that's going to impact it is in season. Those people are
Yeah.
going to be here in season. There's no traffic right now. It doesn't matter what's happening in the summer.
So the other thing is you say more resorts than condos, but the resort traffic is more transit than the condo traffic. And there appears to be a concern with traffic on this
Well,
island.
I don't know if I'd fully agree with that
I
because
see.
if you have a condo, people are going to be in their condo. They have a car, maybe 2 to 3 cars. They're going to and from the store.
Mhm.
If you're a resort and it's a nice resort, you're probably going to stay there. Maybe Uber there. I think that the car traffic is less transient, actually.
Okay. So if you were on the LPA at the time, do you want to ask a question?
I was
Go right
gonna
ahead.
say,
Go
what do
right
you
ahead.
think? What do you think can be done to
Pause
promote
too long when you
more
pause too long.
biking, more walking, more
Well, you know,
reducing the reliance on vehicles?
Well, I think going back to, you know, that mission statement of the LPA, creating a more efficient, convenient, safe, and attractive community, is we have to look at how the development's going to affect our ability to do things like that. Maybe have a bike path or install some form of public transportation, or, you know, I know a lot of it has been discussed about allowing electric bikes on the beach. I think that there's different ways. Do I have a direct answer for that right now? No, but I think it's something that has to be involved in the decision making.
If you were on the LPA at the time Myerside was voted on, which way would you have voted on that one?
I would have voted no, but at the same time, I think that they had a lot of good ideas, and I think that they had a good perspective. There's a few things I disagreed with.
You think what did you disagree with?
More so just the impact that it had on that plot of land. I just thought it was a little bit too much for that plot of land.
Too much density?
Yeah. And so what's your opinion on the current LPA? Do you think they're doing a good job, or are you concerned that they're leading you down a path that you don't agree with, which caused you to run?
Well, I mean, in regards to the current LPA, I think they probably have one of the more difficult 2 years that anyone has ever had following the storm and really answering a lot of questions about development. And I do think they've done a good job. And I think that for the majority of it, they've voted the way I would vote. But at the same time, I think we're in an unprecedented time with changing of the comp plan and the next 2 years of development, where me as a full-time resident, someone who grew up on the beach, I would feel like I was doing myself an injustice if I didn't try to get involved.
They did vote, but they did vote 5-2 in favor of Meyer side, though. But
I
so
didn't
that
say
was
everything.
one. Okay, all right.
How are you, being a doctor with a practice, the time?
Well,
for
I
that?
wouldn't have put it in my application, and I didn't think that I had the time to, to
Show
commit
starts
to
at
it.
10 o'clock.
So,
Why are you so late?
I think that growing up and being able to go through medical school and balance everything in my life has given me the ability to focus on different things. And again, I wouldn't have applied for it if I didn't think I could commit the time.
Do you have a lot of loans you have to pay off?
Yes.
How much in loans do you have?
More than I'd like to say.
Yeah. You didn't get the free loan pass from Biden?
No. Not yet.
Is it less than 250,000?
Right around there. Yeah.
Wow. You have no time for the LPA, brother. You're going to have to. Wow. That's a lot of patience.
You need to be seeing more patients than you got to pay that.
How many
Well, luckily, my wife's a physician as
10
well.
kids?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
well, there you go.
Jeez. Double
Well, you
doctor
didn't
family.
say that.
I'm surprised you don't have a Rolex yet.
Are you guys in the same practice?
No, she's works with Millennium actually.
Okay.
So,
I love Millennium.
oh, stop.
Listen,
How many
I know my doctor.
patients can you see in one day? Like when you're ripping through these people?
I mean, it kind of depends. I run a different type of practice called direct primary care, so it kind of changes.
What's the most you've ever seen in one day?
Oh gosh, in the hospital as a resident, over 80.
Over 80 people in one day. Holy moly. You're
That's a
working
lot
24
of
hours a
billable.
day.
Wow.
Jeez.
What's the weirdest thing you've had to deal
Yeah.
with?
Things people like to put weird things in weird places.
Okay.
Really?
I'll
like
just leave it at that.
Yeah,
like a,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
No,
like
no,
a
we're gonna leave
proctologist
it
kind
at
of thing.
that.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
So was that
Like-
when you were in the ER? Did you do
that
a
will
yeah?
in surgical? Yeah, in
Yeah.
residency
and
training.
do they always say, Doc, it was a 1 in a million accident.
There's always a great story.
What do you do with people when they come in? They're like going
I'm
through
grossed
the ER
out
with
now.
strep throat. I mean, do you sit there and go, come on?
Well, I think and that's a whole other thing. But some people, that's the only place they have to go, so it can be
True.
hard.
So what is your opinion on how this town council is doing as it relates to approving projects?
Well, I
and-
think that they, again, have a very difficult task. I don't think any town council has ever really had to make such impactful decisions
True.
in such a short amount of time.
Agreed.
They haven't really made any big decisions yet
Right.
as far as the development. So that's coming up. And I think that, when you look at the town council, I've lived on the island for more than all of them. So I think that even in my young age, I have a perspective that's invaluable. And again, that's why I want to be involved.
Have you spoken to anybody on the council and say, listen, I'm running. I want you to consider me. I mean, that's allowed.
not really. That's what I get. I appreciate you giving me this platform
Yeah.
to kind of share my perspective.
Oh, they're watching. They're watching.
And, over time, I hope to make those relationships and, we'll see what happens.
Should have come on Sunday.
Yeah, with the mayor. You're always welcome to come by.
Yeah, you're always welcome to come by.
So right now we have you running. Jim is all three that are up. I think it's Jim and John McLean and I think it's Don Sudduth. Those three, and then you and Ann. I think her name is Ann Neef. Of course, I suck with names, so I'm probably screwing that up too. So it's nice to see that there are five. It's going to make the decision tough for the town council, which I like. I like to see people getting
Really good
involved. It's a
people.
good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
like
yeah.
with the
And
crazy.
then, my plug for myself, I guess, would be,
Do it.
there's really no one that I grew up here. I've lived here my entire life. And, it adds a unique perspective. I grew up here. I worked in the hospitality industry. I'm now a property owner. I know how it impacts every aspect of life here on the island. So,
What would you like to say to the builders out there that are looking to build buildings on Fort Myers Beach?
well, I think that if we create a attractive, comprehensive plan that's easy to navigate, it'll be better for them as well.
Yeah.
Even
Okay.
if it is less
Something
hype.
a little more specific to that. If they're bringing a presentation in front of you, what would you like to say to them? Because
stick-
they're all going to try and lobby you if you get on the committee.
Stick to the comprehensive plan. I think it's simple as that.
And
stick
you're-
to the codes and stick to the comprehensive plan.
So what
That's
is
why they're
your
there.
go ahead.
You going to ask
Yes.
about the CPD?
No, what is your
Okay.
understanding of the comprehensive plan as far as a developer coming in and making a presentation? How do you understand it?
I'll try to answer. I don't know if I fully understand your question, but the comprehensive plan pretty much lays out,
That
depending on the
happens to
zoning
me all the
district,
time.
what you can build.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy. It discusses height, it discusses density, it discusses what type of resort or condo you can have. So I think that as long as they stick to that and the presentation fits within that, then it's okay.
But the thing I've always said this: the back door for the town of Fort Myers Beach is the CPD, the comprehensive.
Nope.
The CPD, whatever the hell it stands for. It stands for something. And the developer comes in, he can't get what he wants in the comprehensive plan, so you're allowed to ask for a CPD, which gives you the right to ask for height and more density. It doesn't mean you're going to get it, but that's where they do this horse trading for the public
and
benefit.
I think that precedents are going to be set in the next couple of months, and I think that will determine. That's why I went back to all those other properties that are still for sale, and that was only on the Gulf side. That doesn't include things like the Dolphin Inn and stuff. So I think that if developers see that they could simply ask for it and they're going to get it, they're going to buy those properties and want to develop whatever they want. If we stick to it and don't let them do that, then we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had 5 of the council members sitting out front here, of course that would be a violation of sunshine law because they didn't advertise.
So
but
these
if they
5 people right here.
what would you say to them why they should pick you? Because it is going to be. I mean, there are 3. Well, there are 3 members incumbents and then 2 new people. So how do you get your young self on this committee?
Well, again, in regards to everything I said, I think that, I've been here my whole life. I have a passion for the island. I have a passion for the community that no one else can even appreciate because they didn't grow up here as far as the town council members.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also spent, the last couple years going through Hurricane Ian, being a property owner and doing all this, seeing how things like Hurricane Ian impact it. And I just think that combination of growing up here, the passion I have for the island, and now understanding the things that go into being a resident on this island is invaluable.
What happened to your property?
Luckily, I was over on Indian Bayou at the time. I'm now on Curlew, and I think Indian Bayou is probably one of the more spared streets.
Okay.
We actually did pretty well. I was at my house during the storm, and so I was up on stilts, and we did pretty good.
So you were on the island during the storm, and then right after.
Yes.
What did you? Did you
it was
have
surreal.
To use your service? I mean, were people
actually
in
a little bit, but luckily not too much.
So one of the things that you might hear from the town council is, oh, you're young, you haven't been on a committee yet, and maybe you should serve on a different committee. If they said that to you, what's your comeback?
Well, even though I'm young, again, I've been here for longer than all of them, so I don't think that really,
you might not want to use that though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, in regards
so
to
you
this,
have experience in that.
Yes, but also throughout med school and in undergraduate, I was part of government and both those things. I was president of multiple different clubs and committees, and although it might not be the same, I think that my experience within that has given me the ability to understand how these things work.
So I was going to give you the answer to the question. If they pull that crap on you and say, you shouldn't just jump to the LPA, you should say, well, John King,
I knew you
were never elected to anything. You were never appointed to anything, and you're now a town council member. Right. So, I mean, work him first because he gets the jig right there.
Yeah, but that happens with lots of offices.
Yeah.
People
Why do you say it like that?
Well, and I think it's more important, not to think about that, but to, listen to what I have to say and think about it. And if that's what they want, then they should. And as far as the citizens that live here is to, if they agree to endorse me and tell the council what you want.
So we put a story up that we used his real name, not his fake name. We put a story up that you were applying for the LPA, and you got a lot of positive comments from people. Did you put them up to that, or
I didn't? I think it's just part of being a local.
Yeah, I was just surprised so many people read the newsletter. so now, have you been attending some of the LPA meetings? Kind of trying to get kind of a. I mean, some of those freaking things are long, man. You're gonna have to take a day off of work for those meetings.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. And I've been there. You know, I think that last one they kind of pulled some stuff at the end, and most of the agenda was changed. But
wait, what? Did I miss something?
At the last one, that's when they were going to discuss. And they changed.
The comprehensive plan,
right, and all that. So, which I'm happy they did because I think more public input's important.
They needed time, right?
Yeah, I think that was actually at a town council meeting where they pulled it because they were going to make some changes to the. I don't want to get into the muckety muck of the details, but they are going to have.
It's better to go slow and really have the time to look at it.
Yeah, they are going to have public meetings where the public can actually, when they have those joint meetings, they don't actually let the public speak. I don't know why, but they didn't. But they are going to have, no, they did at one of them. I shouldn't say that. They are going to have public meetings where the public can get up and And you know what the majority are going to say? Stick to the comprehensive plan. That's really what they've been saying on our page. And
Yeah, but I think now, one of the more important things and why I applied is because that's going to change.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Tyler/Jeremy? Anybody here? Anybody in the Facebook audience? Well, good luck, man. We wish you the best of luck. It's going to be a battle, but we appreciate you coming down. Big hand for Tyler, everybody. All right. We are going to have Ellen come on one more time, dear. But before we do that, okay. Wait, you have to go to the restroom before I do. I love when that happens. All right. Eagle Eye Aluminum is one of our sponsors for today. They specialize. He was actually working at the Hotka House, the Hotka Castle, I should say, on Estero Boulevard. Seamless gutters. They do aluminum and vinyl soffit and fascia repairs, a full replacement. He also does rescreen work and installs entry screen walls. Estimates are totally free. Well, of course they're free, Tom. I mean, whoever paid for an estimate on anything? Did anyone ever pay for an estimate? Estimates are free when you call Tom Coleman. He's actually sitting in his car right now waiting for you to call him to work on your house. He's right here on Fort Myers Beach today, or you can usually see him sign. Debbie just checked in on the Facebook. She said he's doing a great job. 239-340-1639. 239-340-1639. Thank you, Tom Coleman. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Ellen Vaughn. Yeah. Ellen, Mound House fame and much other fame. So
this is the only place I'm great, by the way.
No, that's a lie. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
So I was going to say, I was trying to think about how to, because I'm here to promote that the Friends of the Mound House is hosting an Island Hoppers event next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're assigned those dates. And so when they told us that our performance was going to be on September 28th, I thought, whoa. But then I thought, no, this is our chance to reclaim that day.
Yes.
And just the way the town has put the whole thing together, and nobody's the master planner of any of this. It's just coming together. So there's a remembrance. It's either at 8 or 8:30.
I think it's at 8. Yep.
8 at Bayside Park.
Santini Plaza.
There's the ribbon cutting, but there's also a remembrance at Bayside Plaza.
I didn't know about that.
Well, and I hope they get their acts together so that they're not planned at the same time.
Who's planning that one?
I think it's the town.
Okay.
Okay, so and I'm going to put that on your plate.
All right, I will ask the mayor tomorrow.
Yeah. So that we don't have them both at 8 o'clock or both at 8:30
Sure.
because one's at this end of the island, the other's at the other end of the island.
Right.
You're not going to get to both places at the same time.
Right.
So that's a long way of saying that the Friends of the Mound House was assigned the Island Hopper afternoon event, so the afternoon concert
on the 28th.
On the 28th from 2 to 4, and it's at the Mound House, and it's 2 performers, and it's Tim James, who is also be doing a book signing, and Jeff Cohen, and they're both really renowned songwriters, writers and songwriters, both based in Nashville. So
when I was going to the country radio seminar in Nashville, they'd have something called Acoustic Alley, where the songwriters would get up on stage, and there'd be 4 or 5 of them. They'd tell the stories about the song, and then they'd sing the song. And a lot of them were, you would recognize the songs because they're the writers of the song. And it'd be a Toby Keith song or a Trisha Yearwood song or whoever, Garth Brooks. And these were the writers of the songs. And so it's really cool to hear the stories about how the songs are. How the songs are written by these people. And then even like Chris Stapleton, I think, started out as a writer, and now he's just freaking crazy big. You got to turn your mic on.
Plus, a lot of those writers, they can still sing pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it's not like it would be me singing it. They can sing as well.
For sure. Yep.
It's a great thing to participate in.
So tell us a little bit more about the Mound House.
So the Mound House, actually, we have a new staff member who says it up so succinctly. It's the Mound House because you're on a mound. You're on a Calusa base built mound over 2,000 years ago. So it's 14 feet in the air, and you're in a house.
Yep.
And yeah, so come and see us because we are a historic museum and an archaeological site, and it's owned by the town of Fort Myers Beach. And we're open Wednesday through Saturday because of staffing issues.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Whatever. What else is new, right? And it's a lovely piece of property. It's just shy of 3 acres, and it is totally green. Because it's on a mound, most of the vegetation survived. What didn't survive has been replanted, and it's all native vegetation. And it just makes you breathe.
I love it there. It's you can go. It's relaxing. You can sit upstairs on the porch. You can get educated. You can take a guided kayak tour. You can just hang out and look at the big lizards running around.
Yep.
The downstairs is open, correct?
Well, yes,
the underground, which
Underground.
is like the coolest thing. If you have, I mean, it's cool for adults, but for kids, it must be like over the moon.
Okay, so this is in the mound, because what happened at the Mound House, so the Calusas lived there for thousands of years, and then lots of history happened when the Europeans came, whatever. so
damn Europeans.
They went to mess it all up.
So then settlers came and they realized this was a mound. This was 14 feet in the air. Why don't we build our house on top of the mound? So then the people that owned the property in the 1950s said, well, why don't we put an in-ground swimming pool? So they dug out part of the mound to put in an in-ground swimming pool. Then when the town acquired the property in the year 2000, the first director was an archaeologist. And she said, if we take out the swimming pool, we will be in the mound. You wouldn't destroy a mound in order to have what we have, but that had already happened.
Yeah.
So we basically gave people the opportunity to walk into a mound.
And see all the layer. And I'm telling you, they know their stuff. Those docents, are they?
Yes, we are. We're
Yes.
docents because we're highly trained.
Yes.
But there are professionals too.
Yeah, and
not me.
it's really worth going down
You're
there
a professional.
to support the Mound House. They could always use some extra support
Yes.
and to visit the property. And is it the highest piece of property in Lee County?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
It's for sure in
On
Fort
the
Myers
beach,
Beach.
yeah.
Okay.
For sure on the beach. And,
Yeah.
and it's quite likely that it is.
Yeah.
And they have a great gift shop with very unique and cool stuff
Yes,
in
yes.
Now, Ellen, how long have you lived on the beach?
Well, we've owned on the beach since 1997. And then when we retired, which was in 2012, that's when we made this home.
it.
And and I jumped in with both feet. So there isn't an organization on this island that I haven't joined.
Yeah, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. You're totally giving up all your time for all the causes. Now, if you don't mind me asking, when you see the next 5 years with the rebuild, what do you think?
Well, it's going to keep changing. I mean, you've interviewed Ellie Bunting. Ellie Bunting is the president of the Historic Society, and she wrote a book it's not a historical book. It's a stream of conscience after the storm, and it's about the lost icons. And you realize that every storm has taken something away, and then there's been a change, and this has been going on since we've started recording these things.
Right.
And so it's going to be different. Everyone wants us to keep our vibe, keep our funky little vibe.
You think it is keeping the vibe?
So far, but we're only 2 years in.
Right,
so
right.
This is going to be the big change. I mean, people that come to live here have to recognize, I'm going to throw in, so we spent most of our career living in Ann Arbor, Michigan, which is a university town. Okay, so Bill Ford of the Ford family, he moved his family to Ann Arbor from Grosse Pointe, which is one of those very, upscale communities. It was either in the late 70s or the early 80s or whatever. But he said he moved his family to Ann Arbor because he wanted to raise his children in a town that cared about what was between your ears, not what was in your pocket. And that's very much this island.
Yeah.
The way I hear it described here is somebody next to the bar.
Right.
And I've heard Dan Eller say this, and they say they work for Walmart. You don't know if they push the broom or if they're the CEO.
Right.
And that's the way we want to keep it. And
What did you think of Tyler? Did you hear him answer?
actually,
anything?
I was arriving just as he was
Okay.
finishing. So
Gotcha. So how do people get tickets for Saturday?
tickets are available on the Mound House website. So if you go to moundhouse.org, it will be the first link that you can find, and you can go there and you can buy tickets. So tickets are still available, and the tickets are $50. We had VIP tickets. Those are sold out. And keep in mind that when you're buying a ticket, you're not only going to get to hear a wonderful concert, but you are also supporting the Mound House. So it includes entrance to the museum, which is usually $15, and you get a free drink because we're going to have a cash bar. And also, just supporting the town.
Awesome. Anything else you want
That'd be
people to know? And it starts at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock,
All right.
yes.
Big hand for Ellen, the great Ellen Vaughn, everybody. We love having
Thank you.
Ellen on. Always great information. And
And one last question. Membership, is it like what is it? $35 for a year? It's like nothing.
It's like nothing. And then we have different categories of membership. So
For an
depending on
individual, yeah.
individual, and then there's family, and then there's if you're like me, and then you have grandchildren, then you buy the extended family.
And you
one,
get discounts on the kayaking. That's why I bring it up, because I've done the kayaking and it was great. I mean,
Actually,
it's
there's no no reason to not do
No.
not join
Yeah.
if you're going to be
Yep.
kayaking, because
Yep.
it's like it drops from whatever it is, 45 or 50 down to like 15.
it's a great thing.
And not only that, the Mound House is a member of an organization called ARM, or NAR, whatever it is, but you'll find it out. So it's their association of, so there are museums all over the country.
Right. That you can, yes, that
It's free
they,
admission.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome.
So it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Ellen Vaughn, the great Ellen Vaughn,
Thank you.
everybody. She got it 4 times today. So before we go, everybody, just a reminder of a few things. Tomorrow we have the Mayor Show at 10 o'clock at, the Mayor Show at 10 o'clock at, are you done? At Wahoo Willie's. The football game is Minnesota against the Packers next Sunday at 1 o'clock. It's a 1 o'clock game. And there's about 20 seats left for that. I was just going to wrap it up because we went over by 3 minutes.
Are your Giants playing this weekend?
Yes, they're playing Cleveland, the Cleveland
Great.
Browns on
Great.
Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Oh, so my Sunday is now ruined.
No,
You're
I'm not
be
gonna. I'm not
miserable.
gonna cry anymore. It's there. I really actually do want them.
Chairs tipped over in the pool. It's ridiculous.
You know, the worst feeling in the world is when your team
That's
is
the
out
worst
of it
feeling in
after
the
2
world?
games. Well,
I'm gonna
yeah. And
enlighten
so,
you on
but it
the
was
worst
nice to
feeling
watch
in
the
world.
Jets finally beat the Patriots, and it's nice to see the Patriots so bad for a change after being so good for so long. It's nice to see the Patriots look as horrible as
How
they
did you
did.
think Brady did with his commentary?
I thought he was average. I didn't think he was
I
like
didn't
Tony
see him.
Romo the first time he came out. I couldn't even tell it was him until I'm like, wait, that sounds like Tom Brady there. So, but you know, they'll pay him $100 million just to show up at a Walmart with a broom if that's something they wanted to do. So the football game is we're going to raise money for the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club, a 50-50 raffle. You can't reserve a table. So if you're coming and you are early enough to Nervous Nellies, then you can set a table up or there'll be tables set up. But I can't take a reservation for 6 or reservation for 8 or anything like that. I'm just making sure that he doesn't go over the fire code. And we have 150 seats for the game. It's going to be real interesting because we have a lot of Minnesota Viking fans and a lot of Green Bay Packer fans that are here in Fort Myers Beach. So that's next Sunday on the 29th, and the 28th is our lunch for the survivors and the residents. It's 2 years, everybody. It's hard to believe it's 2 years since Hurricane Ian came through. And then, you know, out of the corner of your eye, you're looking at Weather Mike's page or whoever's page, and you see this little thing that is starting to formulate in the Gulf of Mexico there. And it's like, oh shit, around the same time as the 28th. But I haven't heard much about that. So that's next Saturday at 12:30. And I'll get all the details about the event from the mayor tomorrow. I think, like I was saying in my walk around this morning, there are 2 locations in Santini Plaza that look like they're ready to open. I don't know if it's going to be Anita's store or if it's going to be the Book Nook, but it looks like those are the only 2 that are close down there. I mean, it doesn't look like any of the restaurant locations are anywhere near close to having something in there. So I'll try and get those details out of the mayor tomorrow, or we will. And then the town council meeting is Monday night. So that's it for today. Thank you all for coming.
You.
We appreciate you coming out. It was a beautiful day today, and our show is always going to be at 10 o'clock now. And we're back up here at License to Chill. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Bye-bye.